child, I am asking you to stop right now and receive this message. Do not move past this moment. Do not tell yourself you will return to this later, when things are less demanding. This is not coincidence, and this is not something that can be postponed. Because I have something I need to say to you today. I know how quickly your attention moves from one thing to the next. I know how many things are calling for you simultaneously. I know how full your hands and your mind already are. But hear me right now. Please, hear me. The one who opposes everything good in your life does not want you to receive what I am about to give you. And what I am about to reveal cannot be held back another moment. I know you were in the middle of something just before this. I know your mind was already running through its list, your heart carrying its familiar weight, your spirit stretched thinner than you have been admitting. I know you may already be calculating what needs your attention next, what you have not yet finished, what you feel behind on. But I am asking you, my child, to pause long enough to truly listen, because this moment was specifically arranged. I stepped into your path with intention. I interrupted your movement, because I am not willing to let you miss what your soul has been crying out for, even when your voice has stayed quiet. You may not have recognized how close you were to moving past this, and you may not have understood how much that would have mattered. Not because my love for you would have changed. That is something that never changes. But because you would have walked directly past the door I opened with purpose and care. The enemy understands the power of a moment. He understands that if he can keep you distracted, keep you rushing, keep you one step ahead of stillness, he doesn't need to confront you directly. That is why everything around you has been feeling loud and rushed. That is why genuine quiet has been so difficult to find. But my voice reaches further than the noise around you, and it is reaching you right now. I am not commanding you because I am frustrated with you. I am commanding you because I am covering you. I am not raising my voice out of any form of irritation. I am raising it the way a father raises his voice when he sees something approaching his child that the child cannot yet see. I am calling out. Before you take another step in a direction that will cost you more than you realize. I know you are strong. I know you have endured things that would have stopped others. I know you have developed the ability to keep moving, even when moving requires everything you have. But there are specific moments when endurance alone is not what the moment requires. There are moments when the most important thing you can do is simply stop and listen. You have been carrying questions you have not been able to fully form into words. You have been feeling a stirring beneath the surface of your daily life that you cannot entirely explain. There has been a sense somewhere deep in you that something is shifting, or that something needs to shift. But you have not been sure where to bring that, or what to trust with it. You have wondered whether you heard me correctly at some earlier point. You have wondered whether you waited too long, or moved too soon, or whether something important slipped past you in a season when you were not paying close enough attention. Those thoughts did not arrive without reason. They are part of why I am speaking now. I see the battles you fight in the quiet. I see the nights when your body goes still, but your mind continues to run. I see how you keep showing up for others, while the parts of you that need to be seen by someone remain unseen. I see how you keep choosing faithfulness, even when certainty feels far away. I see you telling yourself to hold on just a little further. My child, I have not been absent from any of what you have been carrying. I have been watching, guiding, holding back what needed to be held back, and preparing what needed to be prepared, even in the stretches when you felt completely alone in it. This message is not designed to fill you with fear, but it is designed to wake you up fully. There is a meaningful difference between those two things. I am not here to pile more weight onto what is already heavy, but I will not reduce what I need to say to the point where it passes through you without landing anywhere. What I am about to share with you matters. It is personal to your situation. It is timely in a way that cannot be separated from this specific moment. And it is connected to the very thing you have been praying about, even in the seasons when you stopped using words for it and simply carried the ache. You may feel unready to receive something with this kind of weight. You may feel too depleted for anything that requires real engagement. You may even notice something rising in you right now that wants to tell you this is too much for today. That response is not from me. I bring clarity, not the kind of confusion that makes you want to retreat. I bring peace, not additional pressure, but I also carry truth. And truth sometimes arrives with urgency, because the cost of delay is genuinely higher than the cost of attention. Do not reduce this moment to just another message moving through your feed. I do not speak without weight. I do not interrupt without a reason that matters. When I step into your path like this, it is because I am about to realign something that has been off. Because I am about to bring resolution to something that has been sitting unresolved. Because I am about to redirect you from a path that looks reasonable on the surface, but leads somewhere that would deepen the exhaustion you have already been carrying. You have been faithful in ways you have told yourself are too small to count. You have been holding on through seasons that genuinely threaten to break you. You have been measuring yourself more harshly than you would ever measure anyone else. And I want to address that directly. You have not been forgotten. You have not been passed over. You have not fallen behind on any timeline that actually matters. But you are standing at a moment where your next response carries more significance than you currently understand. If He has brought peace and hope into your life, let that truth be alive in you right now. That is why I am saying, this cannot wait until tomorrow, or until things settle, or until you feel more prepared. This pause is part of your direction. This moment of receiving is part of your healing. And if you rush past it, you will feel the weight of what was meant to lift you. I know the enemy has been working to convince you that you are simply too busy for genuine connection with me right now, too distracted, too inconsistent to deserve a clear answer, too depleted to be worth interrupting. But hear this clearly, my child. I am not asking you for something you do not have. I am asking you to redirect toward me what you are already giving to things that cannot restore you. I am speaking now because I love you, with a love that doesn't know how to stay silent when I see what is ahead of you. I am speaking now because I see the fork in the road forming before you, and I want you to come to it with understanding. rather than moving into it blindly. I am speaking now because there is an answer you have been waiting on, and it is closer than you have been allowing yourself to believe. But answers require genuine attention to receive. Revelation requires a heart that is genuinely listening. And what I want to give you cannot be received while you are rushing past the moment I created to give it. So stay right here. Let your breath slow down. Let your shoulders release some of what they have been holding. Let the running list in your mind step back. Just for this stretch of time, you are safe in this moment. You are not in trouble. You are not being called to account for failures. You are being welcomed into clarity. I am here with you, and I will not waste what you give me. Every word I speak has intention behind it. Every moment you offer me now will return to you as a peace that stays. Do not let the urgency tighten you. Let it focus you instead. This is not a warning of doom approaching. This is a call toward the life I prepared for you. I am calling you because I see what your current position does not allow you to see yet. And I want you to walk forward with understanding, not stumble forward in confusion. My child, I am interrupting you right now because this moment carries a significance you would not discover until it was past you. I know how claimed every hour of your life feels before it even begins. I know how tired your body is and how rarely your mind finds genuine rest. I know how you tell yourself that you will slow down when things allow it, that you will come to me when there is actually space for it, that you will listen when the season is less demanding. But hear me say this, with both gentleness and directness. Later is where answers go to be lost. That is why I am speaking in this moment and not waiting for a more convenient one. I did not interrupt you to bring accusation. I interrupted you to bring protection. I am not standing here with arms crossed in disappointment. I am standing here with open hands and a heart that is fully engaged with your situation and full of genuine love. I see the weight that starts accumulating on you the moment your eyes open in the morning. I see how you move from one demand to the next without ever fully stopping to register what is happening inside you. You have become remarkably skilled at pressing forward, even when you are running on empty. But my child, you were not designed to sustain yourself this way indefinitely. I know you hesitated when this appeared. I know part of you wanted to continue what you were doing, to stay in control of your own schedule and your own timeline. That hesitation did not produce frustration in me. It produced urgency, because I know how effortlessly moments like this one are lost, and I know precisely what the enemy is hoping you will do. In the next few seconds, he's hoping you will decide this can wait. He's hoping you will convince yourself that you already have a sufficient understanding of what I might say. He's hoping you will conclude you are too busy, too tired, or too scattered to engage with this deeply right now. And if he succeeds in that, he does not need to do anything further. Delay will accomplish what a direct attack could not. I am interrupting you because distraction has quietly become one of the most significant threats to your peace. Not open resistance to truth, not hostility toward me, just the constant noise of a life so full that there is genuinely no remaining space for my voice to be heard clearly. You did not arrive here by deliberate decision. You did not choose one morning to let distance grow. It happened incrementally. The way most significant things happen, one small compromise of attention at a time. And I have been watching the whole process, not in anger, but with a care that would not allow me to stay silent any longer. There are things taking place around you that your natural eyes cannot detect. Paths are opening and closing. Influences are pressing on your heart from directions you have not identified. Decisions are forming in you before you are consciously aware of them. And in seasons like this one, when your spirit is carrying a heavy load and your mind is perpetually occupied, the ability to discern what is genuinely from me, from what is not, becomes significantly compromised. That is why I step in like this. Because I love you too much to remain quiet while you're being pulled toward things that will only add to the weariness you are already carrying. Do not misread what I am saying. I am not dismissing your responsibilities or suggesting your efforts are misdirected. I see your heart. I see how much you genuinely care. I see the sincerity behind the way you show up for the things and people in your life. But I also see how consistently you give your best energy to everything and everyone else, and bring me whatever is left. After all of that, if anything is left at all, and even when that is all you have to offer, I do not turn away from it. I simply wait. But there is a point where waiting is no longer the response that love requires, and I have reached that point with you. This interruption is not meant to add pressure to what is already pressing on you. It is meant to shield you from something that is coming, that you cannot currently see. There is a meaningful difference between those two things. Pressure originates in fear and pushes without regard for the cost. Protection originates in love and steps in specifically because the cost is too high not to. I am stepping in because I see clearly where continued silence and continued rushing would take you. I see how this particular pattern, if it continues unaddressed, will not make your life lighter. It will make it progressively heavier in ways that will be harder to address the further along the pattern goes. You have been telling yourself that you just need to get through the current stretch, and then things will open up, and you will be able to breathe again. But my child, I need you to receive something important here. Seasons do not simply resolve themselves on their own schedule. They shape you while you are inside them. And if you move through them without stopping to align your heart with mine, they will take more from you than they were ever meant to take. That is precisely why I am interrupting you now, while there is still sufficient room to redirect, while the pattern has not yet hardened into something that would require much more from you to address. I know you are carrying a tiredness that has been accumulating for longer than you have admitted. I know you have become adept at functioning even when joy is not readily accessible. You have learned to smile in the settings where smiling is required. You have learned to keep moving when the answers you asked for have not arrived on the schedule you needed. I honor the endurance that represents, but endurance without direction produces burnout. Strength maintained without genuine rest produces a numbness that is not health, and I am not willing to allow that to be your future. When I have something genuinely better prepared for you, this command to receive what I am saying is not an assertion of authority for its own sake. It is an act of connection. I am not requiring your attention to demonstrate anything. I am asking for it because restoring your clarity requires it. There are things I want to show you that cannot be seen through the blur of constant motion. There are truths I want to anchor in you that cannot take root over continuous noise. There are burdens I want to take from you that you keep carrying forward because you have not stopped long enough to set them down. You may be wondering why I could not have chosen a more convenient moment for this, my child. If the most significant moments always deferred to convenience, most lives would remain in the exact condition they were already in. I speak when hearts have enough openness to receive, even when minds are still busy. I speak into resistance, because resistance frequently conceals fear that needs to be addressed rather than accommodated. I speak with urgency, because timing has a genuine relevance that comfort does not. Remaining quiet in this moment would not have been a neutral choice. It would have been costly. Not because I would have withdrawn from you, but because you would have continued moving forward, carrying things you were never meant to carry, making choices without the peace that should be guiding them, doubting yourself in situations where I want to steady you. The enemy is counting precisely on you, staying in the tired, distracted, uncertain place you have been in. That is why I am interrupting it right now. My command comes entirely from love, not from any form of frustration with you. I am not disappointed in you. I am not measuring you against a standard you have failed to reach. I am genuinely and deeply invested in you. I see your future with a clarity your current position does not allow you. And I see how powerfully a single moment of genuine listening can redirect what comes after it. I am interrupting you because I want to realign you, not through rules, not through pressure, but through truth, through peace, through the restoration of the sense of purpose that has been fading in the noise. You have been feeling off balance recently, even if you could not quite identify why. You have had the sense of moving without quite arriving, of being in motion, but not making the kind of progress that actually satisfies. That feeling is not a malfunction. It is a signal, and I am responding to that signal right now. You do not need to brace yourself for something harsh. Everything I bring to you is carried in love. Even the things that feel urgent are meant to draw you closer, not to produce distance. Even the things that press are meant to preserve you, not diminish you. I would rather interrupt your schedule than watch you exhaust yourself on a road that is taking you somewhere you were not meant to go. So, I am asking you again, with gentleness underneath the firmness, to stay here with me. Let me have this time with you. Let me speak into the places that have been crowded out by everything else. Let me bring a quiet into this moment that allows your spirit to take a full breath. You are not in trouble. You are not being brought to account. You are being cared for. In one of the most direct ways I know how to care. And this interruption, unexpected as it was, is one of the clearest expressions of my love for you that you have encountered in a long time. Listen, my child, I am here. I have something genuinely important to give you, and you are positioned exactly right to receive it, my beloved child. I see the question you have been carrying in the interior of your life. I hear it, even when it never becomes spoken words. I know the shape of the things you form only in thought, the ones you hold back from actually speaking, because you are uncertain how they would sound, or what receiving an answer might require of you. You have brought this question to me in the quiet moments, when the activity of the day has finally gone still, and your heart no longer has the energy to maintain its usual presentation. You have brought it in the dark, when your eyes are open and sleep will not come. You have brought it through silence, your lips still, but something in your spirit reaching out, with a persistence your words could not match. And I want you to know this, with a certainty that settles into your bones. That question has already reached heaven. You may have begun to feel as though you have been repeating yourself without result, as though the waiting has stretched past the point where you can still call it waiting, with any sense of active expectation, as though your words dissolved into a silence that never responded. But my child, silence is not absence, and a prolonged wait is not evidence of indifference. I have received every version of your question, including the versions that never fully formed, the ones that were just the feeling of needing something you could not name. I have heard the fear running underneath it, and the hope that has been trying to survive inside it, and the weariness that has wrapped itself around both of them. I have heard the way your heart asks whether you are moving in the right direction, even in the moments when your mouth says nothing at all. I know there are stretches when you feel suspended between what was and what is supposed to come next. Everything around you appears to be in motion, while something inside you feels paused, waiting for a clarity that has not arrived in the form you can act on yet. You have been working at patience, working at faithfulness, working to trust that the understanding you are reaching for will eventually arrive. But there are days when confusion feels like it has more weight than hope, when uncertainty speaks louder than whatever faith you are managing to hold on to. You have been bringing me questions you could not fully phrase, whether to stay or whether to move, whether to keep waiting or whether to act, whether to maintain your grip on something, or whether releasing it is what is actually required. The form of the question keeps shifting, but the ache at its center remains the same. You want to know that your life is not being wasted. You want to know that the window for what you were meant to do has not already passed. You want to know that I am genuinely leading you, even in the seasons when the road ahead is blurred, past the ability to see it clearly. Your heart has been reaching for clarity, for the kind of confirmation that does not depend on circumstances staying favorable, for a peace that actually holds, even in the seasons when you stopped forming prayers and words. Something in you kept reaching toward me, even in the moments when you felt too depleted to ask again. Something in your heart kept hoping that an answer was still coming. I see that longing with complete clarity. I see how deeply you want to be sure, not just sure about the next decision, but sure about yourself, sure about where you belong, sure that your future is genuinely held in my hands and not simply slipping through them. There have been times when you began to wonder whether you were bringing the same question to me too many times, whether your repeated returning was trying my patience in some way. You wondered whether the ongoing silence meant the answer was something you were supposed to already know and were simply avoiding. You wondered whether you were meant to figure certain things out on your own. But my beloved, I do not grow weary of the heart that keeps returning to me with honest seeking. The soul that trusts me enough to bring its confusion, rather than managing that confusion alone, is the soul I draw close to. There are things you have not shared with anyone, not because you are hiding them, but because you genuinely do not know how to explain them in a way that would make sense to another person. There is a restlessness inside you that does not come from ingratitude or dissatisfaction, but from sensing that there is more available, more alignment than you are currently living in, more peace that is genuinely yours to have, more of the purpose I placed in you that has not yet found full expression. You feel it in the quiet. You feel it when you observe others stepping into things and wonder whether you are somehow behind your own timeline. You feel it when you ask yourself whether everything you have been through is leading somewhere or simply accumulating. If you have found your purpose and your true identity in Him, let that truth be the ground you stand on right now. My child, that restlessness is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is evidence that you are listening. It is your spirit responding to the movement of mine, even before your mind has the framework to understand what it is sensing. You have been asking me what you are missing. Without using those words, you have been carrying the question of why certain things feel unfinished. And I want you to know clearly that I haven't been ignoring those questions. I have been answering them in ways your heart could receive. Even in the seasons when your eyes could not yet recognize the answers for what they were. I see how you second-guessed yourself. I see how you replay decisions and conversations and moments, trying to determine whether you chose correctly. You carry the worry that one misstep could undo something important. You worry that you are somehow running behind. You observe others who seem to move with more certainty, and you wonder what they have that you do not. My child, those worries have not been coming from truth. They have been coming from fear, finding the spaces where trust is meant to live, and filling them with its own voice instead. Your question has reached heaven, and it has not been set aside. It has been held carefully. It has been weighed with wisdom. It has been answered with care, not with haste. I have not been quiet because I did not hear, or because I did not care. I have been moving in ways that required a different kind of readiness in you before they could be received properly. There are answers I could give quickly, but quick answers are not always the kind that help you. Quick answers can move you into places before you have the interior capacity to stand in them steadily. They can position you in battles before you have the discernment to navigate them well. My love for you is not demonstrated by the speed of my response, but by its faithfulness. When I take time with an answer, it is because I am working on more than the single thing you brought me. I am working on you, and on what surrounds you, and on things you cannot yet see from your current position. You have asked me whether the longing you feel is something you should follow, or something you should resist. You have asked me whether it is acceptable to want more than what you currently have, or whether faithfulness requires contentment with exactly where you are. My child, your heart was not created to be unresponsive. It was created to respond to my spirit with sensitivity. The longing you feel is not resistance to what I have given you. It is an invitation into deeper alignment with what I am doing. I know there are moments when you feel something like shame, for the questions you keep having, for the doubts that resurface, for the uncertainty that will not resolve itself. On your preferred timeline, you have constructed an idea of what strong faith should look like, and it does not include the questions you are living with. But faith is not the condition of having no questions. Faith is choosing to bring your questions to me, rather than carrying them alone, or trying to resolve them entirely on your own strength. And that is precisely what you have been doing, even in the seasons when you did not fully recognize it as faith. Your question has reached heaven, and it has moved my heart toward you, not because I was previously unaware, but because I delight in the soul. That comes to me honestly, rather than performing a confidence it does not actually possess. I see your sincerity. I see how carefully you try to listen for what I am saying, even when the signal feels unclear. I see how your heart remains turned toward me, even in the middle of its confusion. That faithfulness of orientation matters to me more than perfect understanding ever could. You are not in a place of suspension because you are being disobedient. You are not confused because you are failing at something you should be succeeding at. You are not waiting because I have forgotten you. You are in a stretch of preparation. That feels uncomfortable precisely because it is stretching you past the edges of what you already know how to navigate. And stretching always reveals what is uncertain. It always exposes what is afraid, but it also creates room for what could not exist before the stretching happened. I am not withholding what you are looking for out of distance or anything like indifference. I am guarding it until the moment when it can be received without producing fear or confusion, or a pressure that undoes the very thing receiving it was meant to accomplish. I am shaping your heart to recognize it when it arrives, so that when it comes, you will not doubt it, or to talk yourself out of it. You have been asking for peace, not only for direction, and peace cannot be manufactured through rushing. It is formed through a trust that develops slowly and holds under pressure. So, hear me, my beloved child. Your question has been heard. The longing underneath it has been recognized. The confusion you have been navigating has been met with a compassion. That does not diminish when you struggle to understand what I am doing. You are not calling into an empty space. You are not waiting without company. Heaven has received everything you have brought, and I am responding in a way that will not harm you. In the process of helping you, stay with me. Keep your heart available. The answer you have been carrying as a question is not far from you. It is already moving toward you, carried by timing that is exact, and wrapped in a love that does not make mistakes. My beloved child, I need you to receive this with a heart that is genuinely open to what it says, because the delay you have been wrestling with was never rejection, arriving in a form that could be misread as patience. It was protection operating in the only way protection could operate. Given what was ahead of you, I know that is not how it felt to you in the middle of it. I know there were seasons when the waiting felt like silence, and the silence felt like I had stepped back. I know there were nights when you genuinely wondered whether I had turned away, whether I had decided you needed to find your own way through, whether your prayers had somehow not been sufficient to hold my attention. But my child, I have not stepped away from you. Not once, not for a breath. What you experienced as delay was me standing between you and harm that you did not have the visibility to see. From where you were positioned, there were decisions you were ready to make, paths you had already started moving toward, doors you were pressing against with considerable urgency. From your vantage point, they looked right. They looked safe. They had every visible quality that should have made them the obvious next step. But from where I stand, I could see the full length of those roads. I could see where certain choices would have placed you before your heart had the strength to hold what they would require of it, before your discernment was developed enough to protect you from what was waiting further down those paths. I could see the traps that were camouflaged inside the opportunities, the pressure that had disguised itself as forward motion, the attacks that were positioned and ready beyond doors that looked completely harmless from your side of them. So I slowed you down, not to produce frustration in you, not because I was withholding anything you were ready for, but to preserve you for what actually mattered. You experienced it as being held back. What was actually happening was that you were being shielded. You concluded you were being overlooked. What was actually happening was that you were being covered. There were things unfolding in the spiritual realm around your life that you never had to face directly, because I intercepted them before they reached you. There were conversations that never happened, connections that never formed, decisions that never materialized, because I blocked them quietly, without announcement, without any explanation that would have made sense to you at the time. Oh no, you did not see my hand working, because protection at that level operates in the background, in the place where it appears to outside observation, as though nothing is happening at all. I know how difficult the waiting was. I know the weight of those questions as they accumulated over time. You began to wonder whether you had misunderstood what I originally told you, whether you had heard correctly in the beginning or constructed what you wanted to hear. You began to wonder whether you should have pushed something into motion yourself, rather than trusting me to move it. Those thoughts had real weight in them, and I saw every one of them. But my child, if you had moved when your timing said to move, you would have walked directly into battles that would have wounded you in ways that would have taken a very long time to recover from. The delay kept you out of pain that was never meant to be yours to carry. You believed that the quiet meant distance, but that quiet was not empty of me. It was full of intention. While you were waiting, I was doing work in you that you could not recognize as work at the time. I was building the interior strength that the thing you were waiting for was actually going to require. I was developing your discernment in places where you had been operating on impulse. I was building patience into a heart that had been wired toward urgency. I was deepening your dependence on me in a way that would not have been possible if I had simply given you what you were asking for, when you were asking for it. You did not feel like any of that was happening. Growth almost never feels like growth. While it is occurring, it feels like waiting, like uncertainty, like a frustrating absence of the progress you were expecting. I was also working on the situation itself. There were other people involved, and other variables that needed to shift, and things that needed to be removed, and corrected, and aligned, before the outcome could hold the weight that would be placed on it. If I had answered you on your timeline, the outcome would not have had the foundation to last. Under the pressure it was going to face, it would have demanded more from you than it could return. My love for you is too specific and too attentive to allow that. You were not forgotten in the waiting. You were not placed in a holding pattern. You were not set aside while other things took priority. Every single moment of the delay was accounted for within a larger design. Every tear you shed in confusion was witnessed. Every sigh you released when patience was running out was heard and held. I was with you inside the waiting, just as fully as I will be with you in the fulfillment of what you have been waiting for. The same hands that appear to be still were holding your future securely in a grip that does not loosen. There were attacks directed at your confidence, at your peace, at your sense of identity and direction. During that season, some came in the form of doubt that felt like your own reasoning. Some arrived through comparison with others who appeared to be moving when you were not. Some came through voices that raised questions about your worth and whether your direction was real or constructed. You felt the impact of those attacks, even when you could not see them clearly for what they were. If you had stepped forward too soon, those attacks would have found you. Without the protection the preparation provided, the delay gave time for wounds that were still open to close properly. It gave space for patterns to be unlearned. That would have undermined everything you were stepping into. It gave your roots the time to go deep enough to hold when the weight of what is coming arrives. My child, timing is more significant than desire when it comes to what actually lasts. You wanted the answer on your timeline because uncertainty was exhausting and you were tired of carrying it. I understand that completely. But certainty handed over before the heart is ready to hold it does not produce peace. It produces a different kind of anxiety. I was not withholding the answer because I judged you unworthy of it. I was guarding it because I judge you precious enough to receive it under conditions that will allow it to actually do for you what it is meant to do. I know there were moments when the waiting made you feel exposed and vulnerable in ways that were genuinely painful. You felt as though everyone else was moving while you remained in the same position. That comparison worked against you in ways that were unjust. It made you question whether something was specifically wrong with you that was causing your different experience. But my child, different purposes require different timing. And I do not rush what I value. I do not hurry what I intend to endure. What I am building in your life requires a depth that simply cannot be manufactured on a shortened timeline. You may not fully see it yet from where you are standing, but the delay changed you in ways that were necessary. It softened places in your heart that rigidity would have made inaccessible. It strengthened places in your spirit that were not yet sufficient for what they would need to hold. It brought motives to the surface that needed examination before you moved forward. It brought desires to light that needed to be genuinely surrendered rather than simply deferred. None of this was incidental. All of it was preparation that had your actual future in view. There were things happening in the unseen realm during that season where I stood directly between you and what was aimed at you. You did not hear it. You did not feel the full weight of it. But protection does not announce itself. It simply operates. Sometimes it looks from the outside, like an unanswered prayer. Sometimes it looks like a door that remained closed when you expected it to open. Sometimes it looks like waiting when you were completely ready to run. But behind that waiting was my hand, deliberate and steady, ensuring that when you do move, you move from a place of genuine safety into something that is actually prepared to receive you. I want to gently correct the conclusion you drew, that my quietness during that season meant I was somehow distant from you. My quietness was not absence dressed up as silence. It was full of intention and full of care and full of active preparation. I was speaking into you through means that would not push you faster than wisdom allowed. I was guiding you through interior development, because exterior change requires interior readiness. That cannot be skipped. If I had been louder earlier, you likely would have moved faster than the wisdom of the moment permitted. So, I whispered. Through circumstances, through the productive discomfort of delay, through the moments that required you to slow down and sit with what you did not yet understand. Trust forms in waiting. It does not form the same way anywhere else. Timing reveals itself through patience that is chosen, rather than forced. You have been learning both of these things, even in the seasons when it felt only like endurance and nothing else. You have been developing the ability to trust me without immediate visible evidence of what I am doing. You have been learning to rest in the middle of incomplete understanding. That kind of faith is not fragile or shallow. It is the kind that holds under genuine pressure, and that will serve you well in the season that is coming. My child, I know that the waiting has been among the most difficult things you have navigated, but I want you to see it now with something closer to the perspective I have on it. You were never being turned away. You were being pulled closer in ways that required more distance between you and what you were reaching for. You were never being denied. You were being defended from a cost you didn't know was waiting for you. You were never abandoned in the silence. You were being prepared through it for something that required you to be different than you were when the waiting began. The delay did not weaken what you are. It built something in you that was not there before, and that is not available by any shorter route. And now, because of that work, you are standing on a foundation that is more solid than the one you would have been standing on if I had given you what you asked for. When you asked for it, you are closer to what you have been waiting for than you realize right now. You are safer than you have been in a long time, and every single moment of waiting was held in my hands, guided by my love, and directed toward your genuine good. If you have laid everything at His feet, every worry and every dream, let that surrender be expressed right now, and carry this further than yourself to someone who needs to hear that the delay in their life was never distance, and the silence was never indifference, and the one who loves them most has never once let go.